Hello.
Hi.
Happy
Wednesday. Actual live day today.
Yes, official live day. Welcome back. If you were here yesterday, welcome back today. We are still Christmas crafting over here.
Still Christmas in July. I don't know if you all are as excited as we are, but this project today is a really, really cool project. We love this. We're going to be making a Christmas cookie sweatshirt because who does not love Christmas cookies?
This puff vinyl is like perfect for Christmas cookies.
Yes, because it kind of gives it like the look and the texture of like what a real cookie would be like. And then we use Caesar printable DTV or any other kind of printable vinyl that you have and layer it over top of that puff to give it like that icing look.
Yes.
It's so cute.
It's like the royal icing cookies everybody loves.
Yes.
Very cute. So
if you are here today and you haven't been with us, we do have some super, super exciting news. We have a winner to announce.
Ooh.
Last week on our channel, we did kind of like a craft challenge, which back in the day, we would have monthly craft challenges.
Right.
And we kind of went away from that just a little bit. We brought it back for a craft challenge, a card, Christmas card, stained glass, like layered card craft challenge. So we do have a winner to announce for that. We said we were going to announce it today, and we have our winner. Now, for those that have maybe not been around, today is the very, very, very last day to jump in on our best sale that we've had this year so far. It's use code PRIME for our yearly membership. It's $75 off. Brings our membership down to $195. It's an absolutely amazing deal. You get grandfathered in, meaning that your price never goes up from that. Now, one thing I do want to make clear for you guys, if you are already a member, you don't necessarily, you may want to check and see what price you are paying now. So make sure that you check that on your dashboard. You can see that and check that out. You're not going to get an extra $70 off, but make sure you check that because this is really for our new members.
Yeah, we're just trying to get more people to hang out with us over here in the community. And so we thought, what a better time than Christmas in July. Let's give them the best deal of the year.
Absolutely. Also, happy birthday, Kathy.
Happy birthday.
I remember she was in the chat yesterday saying that today was her birthday.
Yay.
So happy birthday, Kathy, if you're here with us. Oh, she is.
She is. She's always hanging out with us. We see y'all in the chat. We see you. And not only are we running the yearly special, but we also still have our sublimation course on sale. It's $70 off, no code needed. If you're curious about sublimation, we have tons of content on the channel for you all to watch. You can just literally type in Maker's Gonna Learn Sublimation if you're just wanting to kind of get an idea of what that is. But the membership is a good place to start if you've just purchased a Cricut. But if you've like had your Cricut and you're like, I really want to try something new.
Right.
I'm wanting to kind of, you know, veer off the beaten path. Sublimation may be a good, fun option for you.
Absolutely.
Honestly, it was a good like step for me to take after just using the vinyl cutter. It's just different. So we are updating that course with hundreds of new files. I think we'll have up to like 500 new files.
Yeah, I think we're going to have either up to or a little over 500 hopefully by the end of it.
And they're beautiful files. So all those are going to be included. Anytime we update content, you will get all of that new content, and it's only a one-time purchase. So it's not the same as our subscription, which is monthly or yearly, but you're gonna pay for it, and then you're always gonna get those updates, which is really nice. I don't feel like a lot of people do that. Like you just get what you get, and then if they update it, it's like in a separate area. Right. So that's gonna be really nice, $70 off, and you don't even have to put a code in. You can just purchase it for that price today. But this is the last day that we're running the yearly sale. So make sure if you are wanting to do the Maker's Gonna Learn actual membership that you are signing up today.
Which we did have a friend in here that said they said, I'm new, I might have to sign up. I just got my first Cricut. So I'm talking directly to you and anyone else who is new and may not know what our membership is. We are Makers Gonna Learn. My name is Lauren. This is Alicia. What we do is we bring you inspiration, education, motivation. So what you see here on our channel is just a very, very small portion of what you get inside our membership. So especially if you just got your Cricut, we have a curriculum within our membership. It's called 30 Days to Master Your Cricut, where we walk you step by step, hand in hand, get your Cricut out of the box, start using it. So we take all of the confusion away, and if you spend 5 minutes a day doing this, you will have mastered your Cricut by the end of the 30 days. Or if you want to work on it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go all out, you can really go through the whole curriculum within a week or so.
Yeah, we've had plenty of people do that. So that's the good thing, that's the beauty, I think, in that resource, as well as the other stuff within the course, like the master classes and things like that. You can actually go in, we have exclusive content for our members, and you can go in at your own pace and complete all of those projects like on your own time. So once you get in there, it's not like, okay, I've got to be ready to start right now. I mean, obviously we're going to encourage you, like if you haven't got your Cricut out, to get it out and do all that, but don't feel pressured to like complete everything. It's all self-paced, which is really, really nice. You can do it when you have time.
Not including the over 15,000 cut files.
Yes.
Hundreds of fonts that you get, plus commercial license to use those cut files and fonts.
You can't beat it.
I mean, you can't beat it.
You really
can't.
And
another big perk about our membership is if you sign up and you download some of our files, and then let's say a year or two down the road, you're like, I'm not using my Cricut enough, or I'm not using it as much as I was at one point. Listen, we get it. Life happens. Same goes for us. Like, we'll take things and spell as well. So if like a year or 2 years down the road, you decide, hey, like, I'm just not using it enough, so I just want to pause my membership. The biggest difference between like us and Cricut Access is those files that you've downloaded from us, you all get to keep. Like, we don't have a cut file police that comes around and like, give us your computer, we're taking all of our cut files back off of it. You still have access to that, which the biggest difference is if you do have Cricut Access and you cancel your membership, you then lose your access literally to every project that you have created that has used a Cricut Access file.
Right. Even if you like designed most of it and you used a portion of a Cricut Access file, like you're not going to have that anymore. So that is a huge difference with our stuff, and I really appreciate that, because especially for someone, I use a lot of the same files over and over again. I'm kind of guilty for that. So I'm like, oh, that's my favorite file. Oh, fonts especially. Fonts especially. So it's really nice. And y'all, if you've ever tried to purchase a file or a font, like a font alone is typically between like $15 to $30, and that's like a low end font. Yeah. Like that's for one, okay?
And a lot of those that are like, even I've seen some that have been 10. Yeah. But it literally says on there, for personal use only.
Yeah, then you can't even use it if you're wanting to sell your craft. Yeah. So those are some of the biggest perks that being within the membership that we can offer for you all. So
okay.
All right.
Are you all ready for the announcement of the winner?
The winner. I hope they're here, because that makes it more exciting when they're here.
Yeah, it really does.
So hopefully, if you all were at the live stream last week when we did these stacked 3D cards, this is the winner from that live stream. We said that we were going to pick a winner at 11 o'clock today. They had to make the project and post it in the Makers Gonna Learn Facebook group. So you have to be a member in order to win this. So I guess we should do a drum roll.
Congratulations,
Michelle Beal.
Yay! Congratulations, Michelle Beal. You are our winner of our $50 Amazon gift card from our craft challenge from last week. Make sure you email hi@makersgonnalearn.com with your best Amazon email, and we will send that $50 Amazon card right to your account.
Yes, so
super exciting. Oh, we're going out of focus.
We are out of focus. Oh, okay. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. We're on a delay over here.
We're delayed.
Someone said my computer screen is big. It's the same computer I always have, but I did get a new case and I got new stickers.
Yeah, start the new sticker.
Lauren's about to start a new sticker too. My case was popping off, but I like a fresh, clean slate.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't want to get rid of mine because I don't want to start a new sticker collection.
Well, I saved my old case because I'm a hoarder. I saved it.
Okay. Are you all ready to see the sweatshirt that we're fixing to create and get started?
All right.
How are you all today? First of all, How stinking cute is this?
Merry Christmas.
Mary Chrysler. I'm obsessed with this like cookie, Christmas cookie sweatshirt, and I'm loving like the dark with the light colors.
Yes.
Of course, you can do this on whatever color sweatshirt that you want, but let's go overhead so you can really get a good look at what the puff, the Caesar DTV on the puff looks like. I just think it gives it such a realistic, like cute effect.
I mean, it looks like you slapped a cookie on that sweater.
It looks like you slapped a cookie on it. Right smack on it. I mean, and it's so simple. Like, I really think once we create this, you all are going to understand how simple this is. Now, we are going to be manipulating a PNG file today. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can manipulate some PNG files. To separate these out and get these separate, because we do want to keep all of this. Like I said, these are print and cut images on the top. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop over into Design Space. Kim, it does give it a lot of dimension. I absolutely love that. So here in Design Space, you can see that we have 3 cookies. Now, you don't have to use just 3. I actually wanted to use more than 3, but the way that the vinyl, like the puff vinyl was cutting, it was gonna make them pretty small, and you can choose which cookies you want on your sweatshirt. You could do like family sweatshirts and everybody have different cookies.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or just do one large cookie and each person have a different cookie would be super, super cute.
That's cute too.
So let's hop over to our website, and we're gonna go to our cut files, and I'm going to show you which cut file we're using. First of all, we're gonna sign in.
Bev says this brings me back to puffy paints, but so much better. This is like,
oh my gosh, yes,
the modern day puffy paint.
Absolutely.
But way better, for sure. I don't know, I low-key love some puffy paint.
I do too.
Puffy paint sweaters. I would have probably been one of those people making those puffy paint sweatshirts.
Oh, I did.
Did you make some?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever made any.
Oh, I made puff paint sweatshirts, t-shirts, all the stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Loved it, was obsessed with it.
That's so funny.
So on our website, if you just search Christmas cookie, you can see there are multiple Christmas cookies that you can choose from. Like you could pick these Christmas cookies.
Those are cute.
Those are really cute. I was just feeling more of the, I don't like the muted tones for this one. I do like the bright tones. And here, why is it not popping up?
Oh.
Let's just type in cookie and see if it pops up.
I like that little Christmas tree and the gingerbread. Those were cute.
There they are.
Yeah,
it's under cookie design.
I do love those.
So this is the one that I use today, and we'll click on it to make it bigger. Cheryl asks, where do you get the puff vinyl? You can get it quite a few different places. We really love using 143 vinyl, which of course, if you all have been around our channel, you know that we have an affiliate program with 143, meaning that we will get like commission and things like that, but we still absolutely love them. They are a great retailer for vinyl, but we like using, today we're gonna be using the Caesar puff vinyl. That has been probably my favorite brand. And here in a minute, I'm gonna show you, we do have a reference if you use other vinyls, like other puff vinyls, because Alicia did a video not too long ago comparing multiple puff vinyls. You compared the StarCraft, the Caesar,
and Tech Wrap
puff vinyl. They all ended up working pretty good.
Yeah, but they have like different heat settings, different cuts, and yeah, there was, you guys have to watch that video if you're really wanting to learn in depth about puff vinyl only. That video goes into way depth. So.
Yes. So back to our share screen. You can see here, this is the actual cookie design that we are going to be working with today. What you're going to do is we're going to download that, and we're going to unzip this file. And then here in a minute, when we are ready to press our puff vinyl, we'll come back to the website and I'll show you where you can find that reference for all things puff vinyl. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to Cricut, and I'm going to actually just let's just hide all of these. Unhide and hide.
So cute.
So hide all these. We're going to go to upload. You're going to upload image. Here's where you can either drag and drop or browse. So I'm just going to go to my downloads. I thought it unzipped.
Oh.
It did not. Oh.
There she goes.
Maybe. So let's just do this. Let's pull down here, pull up our Finder, and we're just going to drag and drop this here. We do want the PNG version. So we are going to go to complex because we want to make sure that we get all of the details. And we're going to go to continue. Now, here is where I need your attention. I need you to focus in because we're actually going to be using the background remover tool for this part. And you can see why. Because when we zoom in, we want to get rid of this brown layer because we don't want to print that. That's going to be our puff vinyl. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, you can even zoom in as much as you want. You're going to make sure you're on the manual select tool. And then you're just going to come in here and select that brown layer, and you see how it automatically goes away.
Magic.
So we're going to do that to, you can do it to all of the cookies, or you can just do it to the cookies you want. Now, one thing, this specific cookie right here was hard for me to remove that because it's doesn't
so
recognize that pink and that, the pink and brown. So you can see here, like it just got rid of both. And you can go back with the back arrows here. So see, I try to remove this little brown layer, but it removes both. So we're just gonna remove the whole cookie because we just won't use it, okay? So now we're just going to remove the outside, those background cookie pieces of all of these other ones.
And you could technically remove just the ones you wanted to, right? Like if you saw 3 that you liked, you didn't, do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to do them to all.
You don't have to do them to all. No, I don't think there's a way that you can hold shift and remove it all. It's individual select.
That'd be a cool little shortcut key though.
It would be, but I also like, it would be hard, I feel like, to do that because on these PNGs, like I've noticed, and you can see here, it removed that bow as well.
Oh, that one was cute too.
I know, I know.
I like the ones that are bitten off of. Those are cute.
I know, I almost used, and we might use one of the ones that's bitten off of here in a minute.
I think that's
so this was another one that I was having issue with just because this pink and brown, but if you really want to use it, what you can do is use the actual erase tool and like separate out. Now this would take, this was going to take a little bit of like finagling, but you can like separate out this brown here to where it's not touching the pink, and then come back in with the select and select everything around it, and then come in and erase and zoom in some more.
That's a good little hack though.
Move this erase tool down, and oh, that's way too small. And that's a little big. And then just come in here and kind of like erase where the, ooh, let's restore this. I don't want that big. We're gonna restore this little corner here.
This is always so hard for me where I am left-handed and right-armed. When I want to remove stuff, I like can't get my hand to do those little dainty like erasing. It's a little difficult for me.
So somebody asked a great question. Bev asked, can you change the color of the cookie? So changing the color of these predetermined PNG files, you can't because they are PNG. Now, if these were SVG files, you could, but like we were showing you earlier, we have a lot more than just this specific file as far as Christmas cookies. Now, this is one where I was able to remove the tan because it's like a different color tan. It's not as close to the other one.
It must not be because it's very close. The pinks are very similar, but just a little darker maybe.
But you cannot change the colors of these because they are PNGs. You can change the color of SVG files, just not PNG.
Right. The SVGs are layered images, so they have like their individual layers. The PNGs are basically like flattened or what they call vectorized, so they're like smushed together into one little image.
Yes.
So you can't like break them apart and color them.
So now that we have removed the cookie backgrounds or the cookie pieces of this file, we're going to hit apply and continue. We do want to keep them print and cut images because they are going to be layered on top of our puff vinyl. Then we are going to upload that into Design Space. Once we have done that, we're going to select and add it to Canvas. It will come in pretty large, which is great. That's what we're wanting. Now you're just going to choose which cookie pieces you want. So, Alicia, which ones do you think we should do? Do you think we should stick with the ones that we've done or do some new ones?
My votes are the Eaton one, the gingerbread one, and the Christmas wreath.
Okay. So, what we're going to do, we're going to grab a shape, okay? Now, this is one of those instances where I have found the slice function is still very useful. Actually, it's going to be the only thing that we can use for this, because I know there's been a lot of speculation about, are they going to get rid of the slice function? Are they not going to get rid of the slice function because of the combine function? This is one instance where I don't think they can get rid of the slice function for this reason, okay? Yep. So you're going to grab your basic shape, and this is going to be a lesson on slicing and manipulating like PNG files really and truly. So once we have our shape, we're going to come to the cookies that we want and slice them away. Because you see here, we can't, it's all one cookie design. We can't come in here and select each individual one, and we want to be able to do that. So by getting our shape, and I will actually move it to the back so you can see it better. And we're gonna put that shape either in front of or behind the cookie piece that we want, okay? And then we're going to select both layers because, like I said, that cookie design is one layer and our shape is one layer because you can only slice through 2 layers at a time. So once we have selected both layers, we're going to come down here to the right corner and select Slice. Now you're like, okay, what did that do? Well, here, let me show you. We're going to delete out that, and now I can move this piece around by itself, and these are all still together.
He's a free cookie.
He is a free cookie now. So what we're gonna do, come back in here, grab another shape. Y'all, it really doesn't matter what shape you grab. You can work with any shapes. I'll show you again. We'll send this one to back. Make sure that that is on top of that shape. Then we're going to select both layers. We're going to go to Slice. And now we have this cookie by itself as well.
Now, someone was asking about ungrouping, and the reason in this instance that you can't ungroup is what we were kind of talking about earlier about PNGs are basically on one layer.
Yes.
So SVGs, they're layered images, and they typically come in, if there's different layers, you could ungroup the layers. But a PNG comes in as one flattened image. All the colors are flattened. You can't change the colors. Technically in Design Space, you can't. And so that doesn't allow us to ungroup anything. It's one image.
Okay, so let's think about it this way. Let's go to one and let's think about it this way. Because I feel like sometimes we get confused, but if we use it in terms that like more of like an everyday term, we start understanding more. Or I find myself when I take it and I compare it to something else, I start understanding it a lot more. So let's say we're gonna say an SVG has 5 layers. So let's say we have 5 pieces of paper, okay? When we bring it in, or if I take it to Alicia, those 5 pieces of paper, I'm gonna hold it together with a paper clip, okay? So I have those grouped together and held together with a paper clip, and I'm gonna take that to Alicia. That's my SVG, okay? A PNG is just one piece of paper. So there's nothing for it to paper clip it to. So that's why you can't ungroup it, because it's just one piece of paper. So what we're doing is kind of taking some scissors and cutting out each piece that we want. Does that make a little more sense?
Preach on it.
Preach on it.
Preach on it.
So
that's good.
So you can come through and you can slice out or cut out each of these individual ones so you can move them and manipulate them around by themselves. Or like what we're doing, we're just picking the 3 that we want, the 2, however many you want. We're just picking the ones that we want and slicing those out. And then you can hide all of these together. And then when you come back, if you want to create another one with different cookies on it, you can do that. Okay? So now we're just going to grab one more shape. This is a very rinse and repeat process.
Do you think that that gingerbread's going to look good against that brown puff? Should we pick a different color
I think we should pick a different one just because I had that same thought when I first did it, because I wanted to do the gingerbread on this one but didn't.
Okay, pick a different one.
Let's do this red ornament. I think that would be really cute. So I'm going to arrange and move it to back just so you can see, but you don't have to arrange and move to back every time, okay? You don't have to. It still works the same if it's in front. So we're going to select both layers, okay? And then we are going to slice that. And here we have our individual piece.
Beautiful.
Now, April says, so what if you go to a program and change a PNG to an SVG? That is something, if you know how to do that, more power to you. Then you can change the colors.
Yeah.
Then you can. But for this project, we are just doing this. Like I said, we have lots of different cookie files that you can choose from on our website. This is just the ones that we are using today. So now that we have our 3 cookies that we're using selected, I'm just going to hide this image because I no longer need it. And then I'm going to place my cookies, and I think I might change my background color just because it's harder to see this little white right here. Let's change it to gray. So we're going to then bring our cookies in, place them where we want them, okay? And then what I like to do is grab them all, align them, and we're going to center them vertically. That means they're centered along this axis, okay? Actually, shouldn't that be centered horizontally?
I'm just here to tell you that Cricut's had it backwards since I started using Design Space. And I always am like, that is backwards.
Because I'm completely backwards.
them horizontally, but it wants, and you have to select vertically. Technically, it's doing it horizontally. You're doing it along, this is a horizon right here.
Yes, yeah. No,
I know, it drives me crazy.
Along this axis, it should be center horizontally. Along this axis, it should be center vertically.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I don't know what the thought process is.
Huh.
Well,
okay then. Perfect. So, what we're gonna do now, we're going to bring our sweatshirt in. And y'all, I guess I should have, you know what I didn't do that I forgot?
What?
Go over all of our materials that we need today.
That's okay, we can
Which
do
are
it now.
very simple.
Yeah.
First of all, you need your sweatshirt. You need your puff vinyl, whether it's Caesar, Tech Wrap, Starcraft, whatever. You need your puff vinyl. And then you need some type of printable HTV. Today we are just using the Caesar Easy Color DTV because, first of all, we love it. We have a bunch of it. We have used other printable vinyls that have worked really well, but we have really been loving the Caesar DTV. So that is the type of printable vinyl that we are using today. And then a heat source, and that's it.
Not too bad.
Now, one thing that I do want to make sure you all know, when you are working with puff vinyl, you do need to have some type of heat source that you can apply pressure with because the pressure helps activate the puff. You are not going to be able to use like a mini easy press on puff. That is one thing that I don't think is possible because you do, whether you have an easy press or you have a heat press here, you are going to have pressure on that puff vinyl, okay? So, back to, we're measuring our sweatshirt. Where is the measuring tape? We normally have
Here's
one right
one.
here. Perfect, thanks. Toss. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to measure our area to see what size we can work with. So sweatshirts, really and truly, as long as you have the vinyl that works, I think we could go up to 12 inches if we wanted to. We'll probably keep it around 11 for right now. So back in Design Space, you can see that currently we are sitting at about 7 inches in width. So I'm just gonna come up here to the top while all 3 of these are selected, and I'm just gonna pop in, let's go 11 and a half. I think that'll be good. Yeah. Because, and the good thing about this is technically you don't have to, when you're printing these images, you don't have to have them grouped together, because really and truly we could come in here and cut them out.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
Manually place them.
And manually place them, because there's only 3 cookies.
Right. And they're like solid images, right. Super detailed.
Right. So we've bumped it up to 11 and a half, and now while they're all 3 selected, I'm going to come over here to offset, and I am going to put an offset onto our cookies, and you can see they're kind of close together right now, because I do want a fairly large offset on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to select, I love working with my layers panel, because a lot of times I find myself clicking on an image on the canvas and then moving it, and it's not where I want it to be anymore. So I love working from our layers panel on the right side. So I'm just going to select the red ornament over here on the right, and I'm going to use my keyboard with my arrow keys, and I'm just going to move it over just a little bit. Someone said, sad, I only have the mini press, and then Tina said, yes, you could use regular HTV instead of puff. This would be a great project to use like a tan colored regular HTV, and you still get a very, very nice result with that. So I'm gonna move it over just a tad more, and then I'm gonna select my center cookie and move it over a couple clicks. Now, we're gonna select them all. We're looking at 7, 11 and 7. We'll bump it back down to 11 and a half just to be on the safe side. And then we're gonna select our offset.
Kelly, the slice option does work for all PNGs. You could slice a heart out of the middle of any PNG.
Yes.
Or you could slice a square out of any PNG image and do just the same as we did today.
Yes. So back to offset. You think that's enough room? I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know when it puffs.
I'd scooch it out just a little bit more.
Okay, we'll scooch it out just a little bit more. We'll go 3 on this side. Oh no, see what I mean?
That's why we use the layers panel.
That's why I use the layers panel. And we'll do 3, 4 on that side. Select them all, and then we're gonna go back to offset. That's a little better. Yeah. That's pretty good.
I'm kind of far away, but it looks good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so now I'm just gonna change the color of this offset to brown, just so I have an idea of how I want it. And I'm gonna make sure this offset is a basic cut, okay? You have to make sure you change your offset to basic cut. Now, once we have done all of that, we're ready to make it, y'all. Ready to make it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Make It. You can see that and we're gonna move this guy over to this page because we have plenty of room. Cricut tries to do this to me every single time.
I know, why would it even do that? That's plenty of space. There's
plenty of room. Plenty of room. So we're gonna make sure these are all 3 on the same page. Once again, remember, you do not have to have, you don't have to have these in order, because I like to manually place them. Now, if you don't wanna place them by hand, you can actually use heat transfer tape. But these were very easy to just place down by hand, not a problem. So we are going to make sure that these are going to cut. Once again, for printable vinyl, you do not have to mirror it, okay? Let me say that again. For printable vinyl, you do not have to mirror it because we're going to print it out and then it will be laid down on our shirt.
Virtually like a sticker.
Yes.
That you apply heat to. Yeah.
Yes. Now, this does have to be mirrored, okay? This piece we do have to mirror because we are cutting it on puff vinyl and it is going to have to be mirrored. Do you care to run and grab me a 12 by 24 inch mat if you don't care?
Will.
And while you do that, grab the heat transfer tape just in case.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with this. We're gonna send this one to our printer. We are using our Canon TS9500 series. For this, I am going to add the bleed just because I don't want any white showing around it, and we are going to use our system dialog, okay? From there, we're going to print it. Ours always pulls up behind there. We're gonna make sure it is on best quality and we are feeding from the rear tray just because that's where it is, and we are going to hit print. Why would you mirror anything without a word? Mirroring that because I want it to be on the correct side. Like I want it to be in the order that I put it. So if I didn't mirror it, it's going to be the opposite of the way that I put it in Design Space. So in Design Space, I had the wreath, the cookie, and then the ornament. If I didn't mirror it, it would be the ornament, cookie, and then the wreath.
We had a roll of this heat-resistant transfer tape. This is what we normally use for like the easy subly. I think it'll work just the same.
Okay.
And then this is a new light grit mat.
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
That's gonna work, right?
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, now let's talk about this puff vinyl. Because this is when Alicia and I started using the term carrier sheet down instead of shiny side down. So if we go overhead, you can clearly see that there is shiny side here, matte side here. So naturally, if you were working with HTV, I would put shiny side down. Am I right? Like,
yes.
Would you all not do the same thing?
Yes.
Exactly. We would all do the same thing. However, if you look at this, let me grab this corner. The carrier sheet on this is the matte side. Okay, do you all see this? So the matte side is the carrier sheet. So it needs to be matte side down, okay? So we're putting, and this is why it is very important, depending on what brand of puff vinyl you use, that you reference our puff vinyl reference sheet. So let's go back to our share screen and let's go to first of all, I'm gonna show you where you can find your references on your on the Makers Gonna Learn website. So when you go to your dashboard, what you're gonna do is you are going to go to your resources, okay? And here we have a puff vinyl reference sheet. So looking at this, at the bottom you see always cut with the carrier sheet facing down, and you press with the carrier sheet facing up, okay? Because I'm pretty sure Tech Wraps was shiny side was the carrier sheet.
Yes.
And the dull side was the actual vinyl, and then StarCrafts was even different than that.
Yeah, so you just need to check whichever vinyl unit purchasing. That's why that reference guide says carrier sheet facing down, because it could be shiny or it could be matte.
Right.
So you just have to kind of peel the corner back and check it whenever you receive it. We are using Caesar today, right? Caesar puff. So this one
and
actually
it's not
has
sticking at all.
Oh, okay. I have another
because
mat.
of this matte carrier sheet.
Yes, I have
sticking.
another 24-inch mat. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold the phone, people.
So a lot of times, so we did have, Kelly asked, so do you test that every time? If you know what brand of vinyl you have, you don't have to test it every time, but if you are working with a new brand of vinyl, yes, I highly suggest you test it to see what side is the carrier sheet. And I'm gonna use an example. We actually volunteered at an event maybe like a month or so ago, and we used HTV vinyl, and some of those vinyls had matte carrier sheets, some of them had shiny carrier sheets, and knowing the difference was super hard. So we got mixed up and used it like
backwards
so many times.
Yeah. I brought that strong grip, but it feels the same as the light grip. Like, I guess we've used it a lot.
It's not why is it not sticking? I've never had this issue.
I know. Try the fabric grip.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Taper down.
Taper down. As Alicia goes and grabs the tape. If you don't care, why don't you just go ahead and grab the printed stuff too?
Oh yeah.
So does anyone have any questions? Carol says, is anyone having trouble with print and cut? My maker won't do it, and I've called Cricut and they say it's something they were having trouble with and that it wasn't my machine. Carol, we have not had issues with print and cut like recently, but let's hope we don't have any problems with it today.
Okay, here's the printout.
Okay.
There's I don't know where the skinny tape has wandered off to. I just used it this morning. So
we'll make it work.
Oh, here's some skinny masking tape.
Well, let's do that.
I don't like to use that fat painter's tape.
It's okay. We can use this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are taping down our puff vinyl because it's not sticking to our mat, and I truly think that it is because of the carrier sheet. So I'm just making sure that it stays on our mat here.
Carol just said, is anyone having trouble with print and cut?
I was just talking about that.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
I had issues with it on Friday, but we were using glossy paper.
Well, she said that she called Cricut and that they said that it was something that they were having trouble with and it wasn't her machine.
Okay.
So I wonder if it was an issue just like with Cricut in general.
I know. I wondered who. Okay, Margaret says, please state again how to distinguish which side should be up. So what we've been saying is put your carrier sheet side down. So you know HTV has a built-in transfer sheet. That transfer sheet normally is shiny, and sometimes it will be shiny with puff vinyl, sometimes it'll be matte. Yes. You need to put that carrier sheet touching the mat. So the vinyl, the actual vinyl, you're gonna be like looking at it. You can touch that side, and then the other side would be stuck to the mat. Hopefully that helps.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, what?
We gotta go back out and change it from a maker to an Explorer.
We've been filming, so we're moving machines around a lot.
Okay.
If y'all are members and you do start using puff vinyl often, we do have that reference guide. It's in the resource library on the website.
Now it's not the same. I'm gonna have to print it again because it's moved.
Oh, because you moved it. That's okay. Just send it. Is there a DTV in there?
There should be another one on there.
Okay, I'll get it.
Okay, guys.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there at some point today. Continue. We need to make sure this one is mirrored. Done. Print this one. Add bleed system dialog. Bring it down. Feed from rear tray and best quality. Just a little refresher for you guys. And while that is printing, we are coming here. We are going to be referencing back to our, here we are going to be using the Caesar, so you cut it on everyday iron-on. You can see in the reference guide we have that there, so we're just going to choose everyday iron-on. We are going to load this into our machine. And while that is cutting, we're going to reference back to our puff vinyl. We're gonna look at our heat settings, and you can see here that we are needing our heat press set at 280 degrees. So we're gonna play this, get that started, and then I'm gonna come over here and bring my temperature down, because the puff vinyl, you are working with puff vinyl at a lower heat setting.
This is a really good representation of what bleed does.
Yes.
If you want to show them close up, I think you can't normally see it that well, so.
280.
Turn it up.
Nope, had to turn it down.
Oh.
Had to let it cool down. Okay. So now I'm going to take my True Control knife. Let's move this. Let's get this table a little more nice looking so you guys can see how we, that's really how we truly work, if we're being honest.
Yeah, the craft room right now
is something else.
It's been worse, but it's not in its best shape. And I even cleaned for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. I cleaned my desk off this morning, and it's just right back at it.
Okay.
When we're in the middle of doing stuff, like working on courses and stuff, it gets crazy in here. The film room is packed full.
Uh-huh.
It's just a mess.
This is the reason that I really don't like working with actual hooded sweatshirts and a clamshell heat press. But it's okay. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I've got that on there, let's cut this off, and then we will weed it and put our other on this. We'll just use it on this mat. It's all good. You don't have to have it if it's 12 by 12, 12 by 24.
Kim's asking why, and I might have missed you saying this, why did you put it on a long mat? Because the
I put it on a long mat because it was actually right at, it was a little over like the, so if you are only using a 12 by 12 inch mat, then you need to make sure your offset and everything else that you are creating is under 11.5 inches. This one was just over 11.5 inches by like
just
a hair.
barely, yeah.
And really and truly, I just was lazy and didn't want to go back in there and resize it.
Yeah. But really, if you only had the 12 by 12, you could just resize it in Design Space so that you, even with your offset, everything was under 11.5 inches.
Yes. So the short answer, why did I use this mat? Because I was lazy and didn't want to change the size.
Yeah.
Short answer.
But you can.
But you can. Absolutely. One thing about this puff vinyl is the carrier sheet is pretty thick. Yes. So it's sometimes hard to like cut through this carrier sheet, I have noticed.
Did it cut the vinyl good?
Yeah, cut the vinyl great.
Okay. I love weeding puff vinyl. It weeds
It weeds like a dream.
Yeah, and where it's thicker, it just, I don't know, it just feels good. It weeds better.
I mean,
look at that. Would you just look at it?
Beautiful.
I love the little eating cookies, my favorite. So cute.
We're going to take this masking tape off the bottom here as well, just so we don't miss that. Okay. Now that that is weeded and done, Alicia made a really, really good comment, and that is to show you all. Here you can see a really good representation of why we want to add bleed. Because when we do our print and cut, we want to make sure our Cricut cuts where there is literally no white showing, okay? This is one we don't want white showing because we don't have a white offset. So if there was a white offset here, we wouldn't need to add the bleed. But this is one where we have color, we don't want to see white on the edges, so we do add the bleed, okay?
Then if our print and cut is not perfect, it won't show as badly because we have a little layer of cushion around the image.
And I'm just going to use this 12 by 24 mat because it's what I have sitting here. And we are going to cut this on, we're going to browse all material, and we're going to cut this on printable vinyl. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to move my stuff out of the way. Printable iron-on, printable vinyl. Let's do printable iron-on light. Ba-da-da-da.
Think it's gonna make you change your mat size?
Nope.
It won't?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's just acting like it's a 12 by 12 mat.
Nice. I wonder.
You've not done that before?
No, I don't like to use those 24-inch mats unless I like absolutely have to.
Oh no, if I have it there, if I have one handy, if it's one that I've been using and I don't want to like go back and forth or whatever, I'll use a 12 by 24 whenever.
Well, that's good to know. The bleed cannot be changed in Design Space, but if you work with other design programs like Illustrator and stuff, you can adjust the bleed to whatever size you want.
Yeah.
But Design Space, it's
just a little tiny bleed.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Yes.
In the graphic design world, people use bleed for lots of things, like printing full color images and
Oh yeah,
stuff
somebody
like
said, doesn't the wreath offset need more weeding? Why, yes, it does. It needed one more thing taken out of it.
Cute, cute, cute.
Oh
Okay.
no!
What? Is it saying it's not gonna work?
It's saying that the machine cannot read the sensor marks.
That's what it said on Friday. That's what it said on Friday. And I was using glossy sticker paper, and I thought that's why it wasn't working.
Are you serious? Are you serial right now?
And I had to cut them out. I had to cut them out with a
Okay, y'all,
paper
we're gonna
trimmer.
try one more thing real quick. See if this works. Although it shouldn't, because these black marks
Are matte.
are very, very dark.
And matte already.
And matte. We're going over them with a Sharpie to see if it's any better.
Tomorrow's live is Lauren talking on sublimation. Do not miss it. You guys are going to want to be here. She's worked really, really hard on this, and you all are going to want to hear what she has to say, especially if you've been on the fence about sublimation. And we are running this special right now, the $70 off the course. So it's very informative if you've been like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if it's for me. This is going to be the day you need to be here so that you can really figure out if it's going to be right for you or not.
We're gonna try, and maybe it's the mat. I'll put it on this mat, but I don't think that's the case.
I've got a bad feeling. I hope that it works though. I'm gonna send good juju. Cheryl says, you ladies prefer the Air 3 or the Maker. I prefer the Maker. That's my favorite machine, but the Air 3 does just as good of a job.
Where's all of our burnishing tools and stuff too?
Right here.
Okay. Thanks.
We normally have everything on hand, but y'all, we have literally been like filming.
This
and
ain't
moving
sticking down either. I'm gonna
everything.
tape it just to be on the safe side.
Tape her down.
I don't know about you all, but I have trust issues.
Yes. We used to be really bad. We've gotten like a lot better about not taping as much. I used to tape everything. I wouldn't send it through the machine without taping it.
Normally you don't have to do this, especially y'all, if you all are new here, normally you don't have to do this, just so you know. It's just these mats that we have in here. For some reason, they're not wanting to stick today. And obviously, Print and Cut is not wanting to work either. So, now, back here. Browse all material. We're gonna go back to printable vinyl.
Yeah, some people, Friday we closed the lid on that machine and tried to do the Print and Cut, and it still did not work. And I even shaded it with a matte, and that didn't work either. It was like it just wasn't gonna work.
Well, I really hope that,
And I think it's the software. I don't think it's our machine. Because I think Kathy or someone said earlier that they were having issues, and Cricut said their Print and Cut is having issues currently. But it's weird because like everyone made those 3D cards over the weekend, and I didn't see anyone having issues unless they all went in and cut them by hand. I figured
Tina said hers finally read the registration marks, but cut all over the place.
Oh, let's hope that doesn't happen. We'll see.
And so normally we will sometimes have issues, especially with our studio lights, if we're using glossy material, but I have never had issue on this printable.
Me neither.
Printable vinyl.
Me neither.
I guess if it comes down to it, we'll go old school and cut it out by hand. I don't know how I'm gonna cut the inside of that wreath out, but I'll try it.
You can toss me some, I'll cut. Everyone's trying to help us figure out. Terry's saying, had issues in the past 24 hours.
There it goes.
Oh, is it cutting what it's supposed to cut?
I hope so. It kind of looks like it.
Okay, hold your breath.
Hold your breath, y'all.
I've been seeing the white crayon hack. I forget that one.
I like the Scotch tape hack on glossy too.
Yes.
And then this hack I just used because it was matte. Okay, it says it's done cutting.
All right.
It did, it cut it.
So weird. I guess the Sharpie hack really works.
Y'all saw it here first. The Sharpie hack really works. So now I'm just going to peel up. Oh.
Didn't cut all the way through.
Ooh.
Did it mostly cut?
Mostly.
Ugh. Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on with it.
I don't know if it's an issue with the... Anyway, we're going to make it work, y'all. We are going to make it work.
Better than having to cut the whole daggum thing out with your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. You want me to start cutting that other one?
Mm-hmm. What? No, we're going to get it. It's gonna get got real quick. Okay. Sorry if my big old fat head is in the shot right now.
True control knife to the rescue.
Yeah.
Okay, while Lauren is working on that, does anyone have questions about the tutorial so far or any questions regarding the yearly membership? Today is the last day. If you missed the beginning of the live, we were reminding you all that we've been running our Christmas in July sale, and today is the last day to get $75 off of the yearly membership. This is huge. Okay, we never do this. The code is Prime. If you are not a yearly member, or if you're not a member yet and you've been like kind of on the fence and you're like, I'm ready, today's the day, you can jump in today for $75 off, and then you're grandfathered in. So that means next year, whenever your yearly dues come up, if our price is increased, your cost does not go up. You're gonna stay at the same cost. So today's the last day. We are not extending the sale, okay? Last day for Christmas in July. July's almost over, which is kind of blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are almost going into August. So I'm excited, mainly because I'm trying to have this baby and I'm not trying to be in the heat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like feeling fall vibes already. But anyway, so we've got that sale, and then we also have our sublimation sale. So tomorrow, Lauren's going to be actually talking to you all about sublimation, which is going to be really fun and exciting. If you've been wanting to do sublimation, but you're kind of contemplative about it, this is going to be a good live stream for you all to see. It's at 1:30 tomorrow, Lauren?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1:30 tomorrow. Y'all got to be here. It's going to be really good. Lots of good information on sublimation. And then we also have the $70 off the sublimation course still. No code needed.
So it's a good thing that I turned the bleed on, because I don't know if it is a Cricut issue with print and cut. I know you all were saying that you all were having issues as well. But if I would not have had the bleed on, there would have been like so much white showing. Mm-hmm. Because it's cut around the bleed.
Oh.
Like, and you can see the bleed. It's not terrible, but
yeah.
Anyway.
We got
At least it gave us time for our heat press to cool down.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
A gift.
Perfect. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna press our puff vinyl first. Now, I have this upside down. So we're gonna make sure I'm gonna turn this around so I make sure that I get it right because I wanna work on it from this side. So we're gonna place our puff vinyl where we want it. This is a really good, normally we have one in here, our t-shirt guide. If we don't worry about getting up. We'll just go with it. We're going with our heart.
You do 3 finger widths.
Yep, oh, that's a little much. It's okay, I think I did.
I feel like we're pretty good at eyeballing.
Yeah. But if you're not good at eyeballing, yes, Diane, you would have to calibrate your machine. If you're not good at eyeballing, then this is a good place for your t-shirt ruler to come out, okay? So we are going to press this 280 degrees for, on the guide, it says 15 seconds. I'm only pressing this for 7, and I'll tell you why. Or really and truly, you can press it just until it has enough puff to it, because you're gonna have to press it again, and you don't want the puff vinyl to be overworked, okay? So we're only gonna press this for a few seconds because it really doesn't take long for it to kind of like activate and stick to your hoodie. So we're pressing this about a medium pressure. We'll do 4-5 seconds. Okay, you can see it's already puffed.
Little cookies.
The cookies are already puffed.
The color's so close to looking like an actual cookie.
I know. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in here and place my Caesar DTV down. And one really good thing about this project is you don't have to be perfect with where you place these, where you place like the icing.
Adds character.
Which it's pretty dang close. But this is where if you're not comfortable, or if you're working with a design that is not easily like picked up, that is where you're gonna use, it's actually like Caesar, it's like DTV, or it's like a heat transfer tape.
Yes.
With printable vinyl, you are gonna have to have a, if you're working with very intricate detail things, you are gonna need heat transfer tape, but this one you don't, for this specific design, you don't have to. So we're just gonna place these down where they go. I'm gonna take this sheet and cover them back up and make sure that all of my puff vinyl is covered back up, so don't throw that carrier sheet away, okay? And then we're gonna press it, we're gonna keep it on 280 because once again, we don't want the puff vinyl to be overworked, so we don't need it at a higher temperature. And the DTV actually will adhere at a lower temperature, so we're going to press it for another like 15 seconds.
So we had a couple questions. Someone asked, how much is the annual membership? And it comes out to $16.25 a month. If you were just doing the normal monthly, it would be $27 a month. Typically, we do have a monthly special right now that's half off of the monthly, which makes it like $13.50. So that's kind of nice. But if you do yearly, it's much less. So
look how cute.
Ooh, that looks cute.
Look how cute.
I love our cookie choices.
I love the cookie choices.
Oh,
so y'all,
I love it.
like, how easy was that?
If we didn't have technical difficulties, we would have been done like 30 minutes ago.
I know.
I feel like that was so simple.
Hold
y'all
up.
got to learn a little PNG hack, like cutting it out and removing the background. Like that was some good stuff.
I love it.
Yes, that's very cute.
So somebody asked, is that the mask? So what I used, and I don't know where it went.
The trash, maybe?
No, I think it fell somewhere. Anyway, what I used to put over this, like when I pressed it the second time, was I just used what we call the carrier sheet from the puff vinyl.
Yes.
So I just kind of laid it over top of all of it.
I like to use our resources around here.
Oh, for sure. Like if I don't have to use the heat transfer tape, I'm not gonna waste it. That's why using that, because it was still sticky, like really and truly, you could have probably taken that and cut it into little pieces and like picked those up and laid them down individually with that, with the carrier sheet from the puff vinyl.
That's very true.
Crafting, I feel like, is all
it.
about using the resources you have.
Being crafty, period.
Being crafty, period, means you come up with ways to save money. You come up with ways to do things yourself. So
It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle.
it really is. It's put that on a t-shirt. Crafting, ... It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle.
Seriously.
Really.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, let's see. Any questions?
Somebody asked if we could show it up front. Here, I'll take it over to our overhead camera and show it up front. And you can see, is that focused? Like, you can even see that the printable vinyl has that like texture like a real cookie.
It literally does. And it's like real size, like the scale of it is like.
Yeah, it's like to scale for a cookie.
Yeah.
I just think it's so cute.
I love it. Funsies.
You were talking about a heat transfer tape. Is that what the mask is? No, like I said, you can use the heat transfer tape, but I just use the carrier sheet from the puff vinyl.
And sometimes heat transfer tapes can be a little finicky,
Yeah.
as in they're really sticky sometimes, and sometimes they'll pull my ink off of my printed image. Depending on, like, you've got to make sure your heat settings are right. So I try to not use them if I don't have to. A lot of times, if I'm doing printable HTV, I add an offset to my image, so it just cuts out like a bigger whole image rather than a super detailed image, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to have to use the transfer sheet, which to each their own. If you can master the heat transfer tape,
Yeah.
go for it. So,
Yay!
all right.
Does anybody have any questions about anything we did today? Anything about crafting in general? More than happy to answer your questions.
Cheryl said she just joined today. Yay. That's exciting. What is a mask for in the printable HTV when you order it? There is no mask. So, like, when you order, like the printable TV that we have now, it has a backer, but that's just like what the vinyl is
Sitting on.
but it's not a carrier sheet.
Yeah.
Because you don't flip your image and press it, if that makes sense. It's just, think of printable HTV or printable DTV as like a sticker that you have to apply heat to. It's kind of what it is. It's like you're buying sticker paper that you're applying to textiles, t-shirts, things like that with heat in order for that adhesive to be activated. So hopefully that helps.
Someone asked us to explain the discount above. So the discount above is for our yearly membership. What we do inside our yearly membership is, if you are a Cricut or a die cut user, we provide you over like 15,000 cut files and more added every month, hundreds of fonts, education, teaching you how to use your die cutting machine, as well as member-only content where we do like member-only crafts that is in the housed within our course. We also have resources, like you could see when earlier I went to our resource library and referenced back to our puff vinyl resource sheet. We have so many different resources within there. You get commercial licensing for all of the cut files and fonts that we have. Once you download them, if in the future you decide, hey, I'm not using my Cricut or I'm not crafting as much, you can actually, you keep the downloads, you keep the files that you download from our website. There's so many different things. So what you would do if you decide, hey, I do want to sign up for this yearly membership, this seems like something that I would definitely use code PRIME at checkout. It will bring the cost of our yearly membership down to $195, which is $75 off, completely crazy, the biggest discount that we have given. And then you will be grandfathered in at that price for however many years you decide to stay with us. So if in the future, I hope we never have to do another price increase, but for some reason, if in the future we do have to do a price increase, then you would get to stay at the lower price. Right. Your price would never change, meaning you are grandfathered in at that price. Do you have to have a certain printer? We just use an inkjet printer for printable vinyl. You do not have to use a specific printer like a sublimation printer. That is not necessary for this craft that we did today, just your standard inkjet printer.
Cheryl says, are these group classes or one-on-one? So lots of the content within the membership is pre-recorded content or like organic content that we film for you all. But then we have our master classes. They're not directly one-on-one, but they are set up like Zoom calls. And so you call in and me or Lauren or Tanner or whoever will be teaching, and we can directly talk to you if you raise your hand. You can be there with your camera off if you're not comfortable, but you have the opportunity to speak directly with us on whatever craft we're making. So that's pretty helpful, especially on those master classes where we're doing sometimes more advanced stuff, or sometimes it's just fun stuff that you all want to do. So I love the master classes. That's one of the biggest perks, in my opinion, outside of how many files and fonts and stuff that we have. The master classes are really nice because y'all can chat with us here, which is really cool. But like on a Zoom call,
we get to see you, and it's more like personable.
Yeah. Like,
so we had a couple more questions. What color of the puff vinyl did we use?
It's beige. I looked it up. Yeah.
Caesar. It's the Caesar beige color. Someone also asked, is Caesar DTV as thick as regular vinyl or thinner? Absolutely thinner. It is super thin.
Yes.
Like it really takes on, and I think that's the cool thing about this is it kind of takes on, if there is something behind it, it's going to take on that texture. It's like, it's very thin.
Yep.
Really like that. Easy press on puff if you, okay, so somebody asked easy press on puff if you lean on it really firmly. I just don't think that you know what, so many people have asked. It might be one of those things that we might just need to try it. I don't think it's gonna work.
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I used it for this shirt, but not a mini.
But it's a smaller design.
Right.
No, like the 9x9 easy press, as long as it covers the whole thing.
And you can put the pressure,
put pressure on it, yes. But like a mini easy press, I just don't think you can do it with a mini easy press. Now, if you had like a 9x9 or one of the bigger presses, then yes, it's doable.
I think
if you do break it up, if the image fits within the heat plate.
Yes, and I think that you could do it, but I just don't know how good it would look. Like, I don't know how good the puff is going to look. It won't be like evenly distributed. You need your heat to be evenly distributed. That's why Lauren's saying to cover the whole entire design. So.
Yes. Okay. Does anybody else have any kind of question? Any other questions?
I guess if not, we'll see y'all tomorrow at 1:30.
See you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.